Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So let us take up our NOI. So you can start reading from wherever we stopped last time. Before
that, 33, no, Prabhuji.
Yeah, would anyone like to recite the shlokas? Have you tried to memorize them? Even if you are not too confident, I request you to please try to recite it now. I will help you if you forget somewhere, but please try. Has anybody attempted to memorize? Doesn't matter if you forget something. Yes, Mataji, please.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Vacho vegam, manasa krodha vegam, jihva vegam, udaro pastha vegam, etan vegan yo vishaheta diraha, sarvam apimam prithvim sa shishyat. Atyahara prayasascha prajalpo niyamagraha janasangashalaulyam cha shadvir bhaktir avinashyati. And third one is Ustahan nishayat dhairyat tattat karma pravartanat sangatyagat sato vrutte shadbhir bhaktir prasidhyati. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Yes, Chayadevi Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Shloka 4, Prabhuji.
No, you can recite 1, 2, 3, and 4 also. Yes.
Okay. Shloka 1. Vacho vegam manasa krodha vegam jiva vegam udaropastha vegam etan vegan yo vishaheta dhiraha sarvam apimam prutavim sa shishyat atyaharam prayasascha prajalpo niyamagrahah janasangascha lolyam cha shadbir bhakti vinashyati. उत्साहा निश्चया धैर्या तत्तत् कर्म प्रवर्तनात् संगात्य गात्सस्तो वृत्तेः षड्भिर्भक्ति प्रसिद्ध्यति ददाति प्रतिगृह्णाति गुह्यम् आख्याति पृच्छति भुक्ते भोञ्जयते चैव षड्विधं प्रीतिलक्षणम्. हरे कृष्ण.
Thank you. Any other devotee? Even 1, 2, 3, any shlokas you can try. Even if you don't remember all 3, whatever you remember. Yes, Mataji.
Prabhuji, I have not by heart, Prabhuji, but I can chant by seeing. Is it okay, Prabhuji?
No.
By heart. Okay, Prabhuji. I'll try to by heart. Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Hare Krishna. Yes, Mama.
I chanted looking into the book and I could not hear you.
Oh, really? That's okay.
Sorry,
Yeah. No, from now on, from memory only. You have to memorize. Yes. Yes, Sumati Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Vacho vegam manasa krodha vegam jihva vegam udaropastha vegam etan vegan yo vishaheta dhiraha sarvamapi mam prithivim sasishyat atyahara prayasascha prajalpo niyamagraha janasangascha laulyam cha shadhir bhaktir vinashyati. Hare Krishna. Third one I have not by heart.
Oh, thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Anyone? Any one shloka if you remember also, fine. Even
Hare
if you
Krishna,
not remember, yeah, fine.
First shloka, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Vacho vegam manasa krodha vegam jihva vegam udaropastha vegam etan vegan yo vishaheta dhira sarvam apimam prithvim sa shishya. Hare Krishna. Only one shloka.
Thank you, Mataji. Any more?
Prabhuji, may I take?
Yes, Prabhu, sure.
वाचो वेगं मनसः क्रोधो वेगं जिह्वा वेगं उदरपस्थो वेगं एतं वेगं यो विषहेत धीरः
सर्वां
सर्वमोपि मम
पृथ्वीं च पृथ्वीं
पृथिवीं सदृशाः second one
अत्याह
अत्याहार प्रयासश्च प्रजल्पनियमग्रहः
जनसंघस्य लौल्यं च जनसंघस्य लौल्यं च
जनसंगस्य लौल्यं च षड्भिर्भक्तिर्विनश्यति. Third one,
उत्साह
starting problem.
yeah, I know.
उत्साह निश्चय धैर्य तत्तत् कर्म प्रवर्तनात्.
संगत्याग संगत्यागत
संगत्यागत सतोवृत्ते संगोत्यागत सतोवृत्ते षड्विधम
षड्वीर भक्ति प्रसिद्धि
षड्विध प्रसिद्धति.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Yes. If we regularly keep reading it, you will memorize. And this is a very important text. Normally you don't come across too many moralistic preachings in ISKCON. You will see it's mostly bhakti. But he's reminding us as devotees, we have to exemplify to the world what is good character. See, because devotees are free from material desires and material contaminations, it is very easy for these qualities to manifest in a devotee. So that's why in Bhagavatam it is said, Yasyasti bhaktir bhagavatye kinchana sarvair gunair tatra samasate sura. In a devotee, all the qualities of demigods will automatically appear. A devotee doesn't make a special effort. Automatically these qualities appear because devotee is transcendental. Devotee has no material desires, no material contamination. So automatically. And demigods, each demigod is actually in charge of one material quality. So that material quality of that particular devata is in charge. So all the devatas reside in the heart of a pure devotee. So all these qualities automatically manifest in a devotee. But at the same time, a practicing devotee always tries to please Krishna by exemplifying nice qualities in his life, so that the world will be attracted towards Krishna. A devotee wants to live in such an exemplary way that people will be attracted to Krishna consciousness. If a devotee is short-tempered, what will it do to others? If a devotee is greedy, what it will do to others? When a devotee is sad and morose and upset all the time, what people will think about? So a devotee thinks, no, I should not bring a bad name to Krishna. I should not bring a bad name to my guru and to scriptures. So devotee willingly tries to manifest these qualities. So two sides. One is that our sincere practice of Krishna consciousness will help us to manifest these qualities. Because Cheto Darpanam Arjanam, we have read in Sikshashtakam, that Mahamantra cleanses our consciousness. Cheto means consciousness, mind. Darpana, Marjanam. Our consciousness is like a mirror, and Mahamantra cleanses it. So the Lord is non-different from his holy names. So the holy name is doing the cleaner's job for us. He enters into our heart when we chant with attention, and he goes about cleaning our heart. But why should we give this job to the Lord? Why not we clean our own hearts? So when we read this Upadeshamritam, we should develop that eagerness to develop these qualities. Vacho Vegam, I should control the urge to speak unnecessary things. Prajalpa, why should I speak Prajalpa? Vacho Vegam is controlled by always speaking about Krishna. Manasa Vegam is controlled by always remembering Krishna and his pastimes. Vacho Vegam, Manasa Krodha Vegam, anger. How is the anger to be used? Anger should be used in the service of Krishna, like Hanuman and Arjun. How they use their anger? In the service of the Lord, not for any selfish needs. That anger is only used in the service of the Lord. So like that, all good qualities will automatically come in a devotee. But devotee should not think, oh, I have a short temper. I will continue like that. Whenever the Lord wants to remove it, let him remove it. we should not live like that. It will happen definitely. But why? As you get the spiritual knowledge, anger will automatically go away. See, simple thing. Why does anger come? Anger comes because of unfulfilled expectations. Yes, if I have an expectation, it is not fulfilled, I become angry. Somebody says, first it becomes an irritation. Irritation builds up into frustration. Frustration one day breaks out as anger. So the more we have expectations from this world, from our family members, from our colleagues in office, or from the world around us, these expectations are the cause of our anger. So a devotee has no expectation at all. Brahma prays to Lord Krishna. Tathenu kampam susanikshamano kunjana yevatma kritam vibhagam kridva gopur vidatam namaste jive dayo mukti pade sadayabhag. Brahmaji, after he is defeated by Krishna, Brahma Vimohan, he prays like this to the Lord, that a devotee who accepts whatever comes in his life as your mercy, whether it is good or bad. If it is good, he doesn't start jumping in ecstasy, nor when something bad happens, he starts cursing the Lord. No, he accepts everything equal vision. And if something really bad happens in his life, he thinks, oh, I am such a fallen soul. I must have committed so many sins. Knowingly, unknowingly, in this life, in my past lives, so many sins I must have done. I must suffer so much more. But by the mercy of Krishna, he has reduced it to so little. A devotee will never complain. So Brahma says, if someone has this mood, that he doesn't blame the Lord for anything, not only blame the Lord, doesn't blame anyone except his own karma. What I have done, what you cook, you eat. No. Too much salt in the food, but you only cooked it. So you must eat it. So whatever karma we have done, it will come and I have to accept it. So devotee accepts in that mode. By the Lord's mercy, it has been reduced. I must suffer much more. And he becomes blissful. In the face of suffering, a devotee becomes blissful. Oh, the Lord is caring for me. Yoga kshemam vahamiham. Lord is maintaining me. And he continues to Kridva Gopurbir Vidatam Namaste. He offers you Dandavat obeisances with his mind, body, and words. He continues to worship you with his mind, body, and words. For such a person, oh Lord, the spiritual world is his birthright. To go back home, back to Godhead, becomes his birthright. So when you develop that mood, that I deserve to suffer when a suffering comes, then why you will blame anybody for your suffering? And when you don't blame anyone, when there is no anger, then there is no anger. A devotee only feels bliss when suffering comes. He thinks by the Lord's mercy, he has condoned so much of my wrongdoings. So that way, with proper understanding, from a level of Kanishta Bhakta, we should progress into a Madhyama level Bhakta. We should become at least a middle Bhakta. What's a Kanishta Bhakta? That will come in the next sloka anyway. So let us continue. Who is going to read now?
Shall I read, Prabhuji?
Yes, Mataji.
I think we left at page number 33, no, Prabhuji?
I don't remember, Mataji, but I think we have done.
Because I only read last and I have folded the page, that's how I remember.
36.
Page
No,
number
Prabhuji.
30.
35, page number
I think
35.
35 we must have
35,
come.
Yeah, yes, Prabhuji, 35. Dovetally in his service. Until then, we covered it.
Okay, great. Yeah. Dovetail in his service. Huh?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Where is it in 35? I don't see it.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji. That's what.
It is there, Prabhuji. Everything is depending on my energy. Thus, the devotee can understand that since nothing is independent
Yeah,
of
please
Krishna.
continue. Please continue. Yes.
From there, we have to consider endeavor, execute it.
Endeavor. Okay. Endeavor executed. Achha. Shall we start from there or we have to read?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yeah, we have to start from.
Okay. Yeah.
I didn't get it, Mataji. Where exactly is it, Mataji?
It is in 36
Okay.
page.
It's there in 36. Yes, Prabhuji. Endeavor executed with intelligence and Krishna consciousness is called utsaha or enthusiasm. The devotees find the correct means by which everything can be utilized in the service of the Lord. Nirbandha Krishna Sambandhe Yuktam Vairagyam Uchyate. The execution of devotional service is not a matter of idle meditation, but practical action in the foreground of spiritual life. These activities must be executed with patience. One should not be impatient in Krishna consciousness. Indeed, this Krishna consciousness movement was started single-handedly, and in the beginning there was no response. But because we continue to execute our devotional
1
activities
second.
with
Please stop,
patience,
Mataji.
Yes,
Prabhupada is saying, in the beginning, there was no response. Does anyone want to say something about it? In the beginning means what time?
When he first went to New York, Prabhuji, when he started this thing.
No, but when did Prabhupada start preaching?
first when he was preaching in India, there was no response from anybody in Indians, na, Prabhuji. They did not accept him. He got a lot of resistance, isn't it, Prabhuji? And then only he said there is no use of preaching to Indians. So he
when
went
Prabhupada says, in the beginning there was no response, that is extreme humility on his part to say this.
Yes.
Prabhupada started preaching even as a householder, even as a businessman. Prabhupada was sitting in Allahabad running his business, but he would go to Jhansi to preach. He was preaching all his life. He was helping Gaudiya Math to build temples, to bring devotees. He would speak, he would write articles for the magazines, Vaishnava Toshni and other books of Gaudiya Math he would write. And he was preaching. And then at one point of time, his business wound up when he was in Jhansi. And then in Jhansi also, he had looked at one building, which he named as League of Devotees. But because of the Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan, that what is that? Munshi, Trupti Munshi and his wife. That building, what Prabhupada had earmarked for himself, they took it away. They wanted to start a ladies' club. So this Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan, that man's wife, she said, I want this building for a ladies' club. And we are doing wonderful service for ladies. That is very much required for India. The ladies, we have to emancipate the condition of the women. And we are going to start something in Jhansi for that. They took away. Again, Prabhupada was empty, nothing. No devotee. Trying. Then he went to Vrindavan. He was in Delhi, Vrindavan, going here and there, trying to, nothing. He wrote Bhagavad Gita, full commentary on Bhagavad Gita. He kept it at home. He tried to print it. So he went all the way to Karaikudi. He met Alagappa Chettiar. Alagappa Chettiar said, all right, I will help you to print. Go and bring the manuscripts. So Prabhupada came home. He opened the trunk. Manuscripts disappeared. Prabhupada met with extreme reversals in his life, in his preaching work. Can you imagine someone writing the whole Bhagavad Gita translation and purports twice at such a ripe age? But because he knew the world needs Bhagavad Gita as it is. What if one manuscript is stolen? I will do it again. And that Prabhupada is saying, in the beginning, there was no response. No. But, yeah, please continue.
And in the beginning, there was no response, but because we continued to execute our devotional activities with patience, people gradually began to understand the importance of this movement, and now they are eagerly participating. One should not be impatient in discharging devotional service, but should take instructions from the spiritual master and execute them with patience, depending on the mercy of Guru and Krishna. The successful execution of Krishna conscious activities requires both patience and confidence. A newly married girl naturally expects offspring from her husband, but she cannot expect to have them immediately after their marriage. Of course, as soon as she is married, she can attempt to get a child, but she must surrender to her husband, confident that her child will develop and be born in due time. Similarly, in devotional service, surrender means that one has to become confident. The devotee thinks, Avasya Rakshibhe Krishna. Krishna will surely protect me and give me help for the successful execution of devotional service. This is called confidence. As already explained, one should not be idle but should be very enthusiastic about executing the regulative principle. Tat tat karma pravarthana. Neglect of the regulative principles will destroy devotional service. In this Krishna consciousness movement, there are 4 basic regulative principles: forbidding illicit sex, meat eating, gambling, and intoxication. A devotee must be very enthusiastic about following these principles. If he becomes slack in following any of them, his progress will certainly be checked. Srila Rupa Goswami therefore recommends that karma pravarthanat. One must strictly follow the regulative principles of Vaidhi Bhakti. In addition to these 4 prohibitions, yama, there are positive regulative principles, niyama, such as the daily chanting of 16 rounds on Japamala beads. These regulative activities must be faithfully performed with enthusiasm. This is called Tat Karma Pravarthana, or varied engagement in devotional service. Furthermore, in order to be successful in devotional service, one must give up the association of undesirable people. This includes karmis, jnanis, yogis, and other non-devotees. Once Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was asked by one of his householder devotees about the general principles of Vaishnavism, as well as the general routine activities of the Vaishnava, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu immediately replied, Asat Sanga Tyaga, a Vaishnava Achara. Characteristically, a Vaishnava is one who gives up the association of worldly people or non-devotees. Srila Narottama Dasa Thakur has therefore recommended Tandera Charana Sevi Bhakta Sane Vasa, one who has to live in company of pure devotees and execute the regulative principles laid down by the previous acharyas. The 6 Goswamis, namely Sri Rupa Goswami, Sri Sanatana Goswami, Sri Jiva Goswami, Sri Raghunatha Dasa Goswami, Sri Gopala Bhatta Goswami, and Sri Raghunatha Bhatta Goswami. If one lives in the association of devotees, there is little chance of associating with non-devotees. The International Society for Krishna Consciousness is opening many centers just to invite people to live in the company of devotees and practice the regulative principles of spiritual life. Devotional service means transcendental activities. On the transcendental platform, there is no contamination by the 3 modes of material nature. This is called Vishuddha Sattva, the platform of pure goodness, or goodness free from contamination by the qualities of passion and ignorance. In this Krishna consciousness movement, we require everyone to rise early in the morning by 4 a.m. and attend Mangala Arati or morning worship, then read Srimad Bhagavatam, perform Kirtan, and so forth. Thus, we hold continuous activities in devotional service 24 hours daily. This is called Satovritti, or following in the footsteps of the previous acharyas who expertly filled every moment of time with Krishna conscious activities. If one strictly follows the advice given in this verse by Srila Rupa Goswami, namely being enthusiastic, being confident, being patient, giving up the association of unwanted persons, following the regulative principles, and remaining in the association of devotees, one is sure to advance in devotional service. In this regard, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakura remarks that the cultivation of knowledge by philosophical speculation, the collection of mundane opulence by the advancement of fruitive activities, and the desire for yoga siddhis, material perfections, are all contrary to the principles of devotional service. One has to become thoroughly callous to such non-permanent activities and turn his attention instead to the regulative principles of devotional service. According to Bhagavad Gita 2.69, Ya Nisha Sarva Bhutanam Tasyam Jagrati Samyami Yasyam Jagrati Bhutani Sa Nisha Pashyato Muni. What is night for all beings is the time of awakening for the self-control, and the time of awakening for all beings is night for the introspective sage.
Hare Krishna.
Engage in the devotional service.
We'll take
Thank you,
this
Prabhuji.
short-
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So, devotees would like to say something about what we have heard. What is this Utsaha, Nishchaya, Dhairya? Enthusiasm, determination, and patience. So where does, and tatat karma pravartanat, Prabhupada says, engaging in the regulative principles, both yama and niyama. 4 things we are supposed to avoid, that's called yama. And then we are supposed to chant 16 rounds of Mahamantra every day. That is your niyama. So all these things we should execute with enthusiasm, determination, and patience. Where does it come from? That comes from confidence. What is that confidence?
That Krishna will take care of us, Prabhuji.
Beautiful.
Then,
Exactly. Avasya rakhibe Krishna. Krishna will protect you. It comes from that confidence. So the root is that confidence. That confidence in Krishna and Guru and scripture, that is your foundation. With that foundation, you are able to pursue your activity. Just you remember what we talked about Mahaprabhu's pastime, no, Mukunda. Mahaprabhu said, I will not see him. Mahaprabhu said, I will not see him for as many lifetimes as there are leaves on the tamarind tree. He did not even say, I will see him after that. Mahaprabhu did not say, I will see him after that, but that was enough for him. Because the Lord's words are not cheap, no? The Lord's will, the Lord's words, they are all absolute. It will happen. So Mukunda was so very happy. Yeah, and became so ecstatic. That is patience, no? He's willing to wait because of the confidence. Confidence is the Lord will definitely protect. The Lord will definitely save. So all these are related qualities. So regarding utsaha, enthusiasm, how to become enthusiastic? Prabhupada said, act enthusiastically. Not to attract the attention of other people, but to attract the attention of Krishna. Not that others should think, oh, here is a great devotee acting so enthusiastically. Not like that. But to attract the attention of Krishna. Here is a devotee who is not feeling enthusiasm within, but for my sake, he's working with so much enthusiasm. The Lord will bestow that enthusiasm, which is not a material quality. It's a transcendental quality. All the transcendental qualities are with the Lord. He can award that to anyone he wants. So this utsaha, nishchaya, dhairya, these things we are talking about, they are all transcendental qualities, not material qualities. And as Bhagavatam says, all these qualities will automatically develop in a devotee. Automatically develop in a devotee. But at the same time, as sincere devotees, we should always try to cultivate and manifest these qualities in us for the pleasure of Krishna, for the pleasure of Guru, not to attract attention of other people, not to get some name and fame by demonstrating something which internally we don't have. It's not like that. So please understand, a devotee is always trying to please Guru and Krishna in whatever he does. So that way, utsaha, nishchaya, dhairya automatically flows in his activities. And tattat karma pravartana. Tattat karma pravartana, we are being warned, don't be distracted towards jnanis, towards karmis, and towards yogis. Yes, jnanis are always trying for liberation. And they are using mental speculation to arrive at the absolute truth. And they are constantly, through their speculation, they are writing books. And there are so much literature of Mayavadi literature. So you should not get attracted to these Mayavadis, to their literature, to their talks and lectures, and get distracted. So avoid association with so-called jnanis and so-called yogis and so-called and the karmis. Karmis are always looking for material opulence and sense gratification. Don't take their association. And for the yogis, they are looking for transcendental yogic powers. So we don't want them also. Our aim is only to serve Krishna in the mood of a servant of a servant of a servant. So that humility protects a devotee. That dependence on Krishna's protection, dependence and faith and confidence that Krishna will protect me. Not that you surrender to Krishna and then immediately look up, is Krishna protecting me or not? I have surrendered. Now what Krishna is doing for me, it's not like that. That confidence, yes, avasya rakhibe. With that mood, all these things will follow. Now Prabhupada, after writing his comments, is now talking about what his Guru wrote on this subject in the Anuvritti Bhashya. What his Guru has mentioned about this. So that also he is summarizing. This is the mood of a devotee. He wants to share what his guru told him. He doesn't think he is the original creator of all these things. He's always feeling obliged to what he received from his guru. And in the mood of a postman, he's sharing. Even though he's full of realizations, he's still sharing it in the mood of a servant. A guru doesn't feel that he is the leader, master of his disciples. A guru feels he is a servant of his disciples. That is the mood of a guru also. Please understand. Even though a disciple sees the guru as equal to God, a disciple looks at guru as equal to God. But guru, when he looks at his disciple, he sees that I am his servant. And he sees the disciple as a representative of his guru, has come to receive my service. A representative of my guru. He has been sent by my guru. So that way, in no situation, a devotee allows pride to take control. Rather, he is always protected by the mood of humility. And the humility stems out of his sense of gratitude. He thinks, I am so fallen. Like Narottam Das Thakur prays. Does anybody has memorized this song? Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya Karo More. Does anybody know? Can you sing? Ghosh
Shall I
Prabhu?
sing, Prabhuji?
Yeah, yes, Prabhu. First 4 lines.
Yes. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya Karo More Tuma Bina Hi Jagate
Jagat Samsare.
Tum bina
Hare Krishna.
jagat.
Can I sing?
Yeah.
Yes,
Jai-
Prabhu, please continue. I have forgotten the words.
Yeah, no, it's okay. Yeah, who wants to sing?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, can I?
See, sometimes, no, when we, if you just read out fast, you can say it also. When you are singing, sometimes, you get this.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. It's
Yeah,
almost
okay. Would you like to continue or Ajit Prabhu?
and let Ajit Prabhu.
Oh, yes, Ajit Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Jai Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya Karo More Tuma Bina Ke Dayalu Jagat Sansare
Patita
Pavana Hetu Patita
Tava avatar.
हेतु तमावतार
Mosama.
पतित प्रभु न पहिम getting stuck Prabhuji.
Yeah. No, but now, yeah, these
Thinking.
are the 4 lines I wanted. Now, give me the translation of this one. Who wants to say meaning of these 4 lines? Ghosh Prabhu?
Shall I say, Prabhuji?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm
Yeah.
only reading out, Prabhuji.
Okay.
My dear Lord Chaitanya, please be merciful to me, because who can be more merciful than your Lordship within these 3 words? Your incarnation is just to reclaim the conditioned fallen souls, but I assure you that you will not find a greater fallen soul than me. Therefore, my claim is first.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah, see, he's saying, I am most fallen number 1. Because Patita Pavana Hetu Tava Avatar. You took this incarnation to uplift the most fallen souls. Patita Pavana. And Mosama Patita Prabhu Napaiveara. You will not find a more fallen soul than me anywhere. So, how he's claiming the mercy of the Lord, not by saying, I am a great devotee, I want your mercy. Oh, I have been chanting for so many years, please give me your mercy. Or I have done so much of book distribution, I am regularly attending the Mangalarati. Like that, he's not saying. He's only saying his qualification is only one thing. I am a most fallen soul. And because you are reputed as the savior of the most fallen souls, I become qualified. This is called Asha Bandha. I am not qualified, but I am hoping the Lord will give me his mercy because he is so merciful to the fallen souls. So this is coming from Narottam Das Thakur. So that is how the devotee gets his confidence in the protection of the Lord. Because the Lord is merciful, not because I am having any special qualifications. If you look at qualifications, no, I have no qualification at all. But Lord is merciful to the most fallen. So I am hoping that the Lord will take care of me. So that is what Narottam Das Thakur is displaying. And so there is the same thing that is echoed here by Srila Prabhupada. So he's saying we have to avoid all these worldly people who are looking for sense gratification, who are accumulating wealth, who are looking for siddhis, and who are looking for some mental speculation to acquire knowledge, so-called jnanis. So the devotee should completely avoid. Tattat karma pravartanat, we have to follow. Tattat karma pravartanat means we have to follow the devotional scriptures. Because we are devotees, we have no need to read the karmi scriptures or jnani scriptures. Our focus is only on the bhakti scriptures. And we follow the instructions of Vaidhi Bhakti. Whatever rules are there, we follow. Yamas, niyamas, whatever is told, we follow. With enthusiasm, with patience, and with determination. So, and Sangatyaga, we don't want the association of all these worldly people. Jnani, Karmi, Yogi. Karmi is a worldly man. Jnani is interested in transcendental knowledge. And Yogi wants transcendental powers. But we don't want the association of all this. We want the association of only devotees. Sangatyaga. Satovritte. Satovritte means engaging fully in activities that are favorable for development of devotion. All the activities, 24 hours, no, like Prabhupada says, right from Mangalarti time, right from getting up at 4 o'clock and pursuing all the activities of devotion steadily. That's called Satovritte. And if you do these things, 100% your devotional life will flourish. Okay, you can continue, Mataji, or anyone else wants to read?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Right.
Engagement in the devotional service of the Lord is the life and soul of the living entity. It is the desired goal and supreme protection of human life. One has to become confident about this, and one also has to be confident that all activities other than devotional service, such as mental speculation, fruitive work, or mystic endeavor, will never yield any enduring benefit. Complete confidence in the path of devotional service will enable one to attain his desired goal, but attempting to follow other paths will only succeed in making one restless. In the 7th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is stated, one must be calmly convinced that those who have given up devotional service to engage in severe austerities for other purposes are not purified in their minds, despite their advanced austerities, because they have no information of the transcendental loving service of the Lord. It is further stated in the 7th canto, although mental speculators and fruitive actors may perform great austerities and penances, they still fall down because they do not have information about the lotus feet of the Lord. The devotees of the Lord, however, never fall down. In Bhagavad Gita 9.31, the Supreme Personality of Godhead assures Arjuna, Kaunteya pratijanihi name bhakta pranashyati. O son of Kunti, declare it boldly that my devotee never perishes. Again in Bhagavad Gita 2.40, Krishna says, Neha vikramashnashosti pratyavayo na vidyate swalpamapyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. In this endeavor, there is no loss or diminution, and a little advancement on this path can protect one from the most dangerous type of fear. Devotional service is so pure and protect that once we have having begun, one is forcibly dragged to ultimate success. Sometimes a person will give up his ordinary material engagements and out of sentiment take shelter of the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord and thus begin the preliminary execution of devotional service. Even if such an immature devotee falls down, there is no loss on his part. On the other hand, what is the gain of one who executes the prescribed duties according to his varna and ashrama but doesn't take the devotional service? Although a fallen devotee may take his next birth in a low family, his devotional service will nonetheless resume from where it left off. Devotional service is ahaituki apratihata. It is not the effect of any mundane cause, nor it can be terminated by any mundane cause or permanently curtailed by any material interruption. Therefore, a devotee should be confident about his engagement and should not be very interested in the activities of the karmis, jnanis, and yogis.
See,
There are-
again and again, Prabhupada is saying karmis, jnanis, yogis. So that's why you please make a note of it. We are on the spiritual path. And when you are on the spiritual path, you will come across people who talk about karma yoga, those who talk about jnana yoga, and those who talk about ashtanga yoga, and so many other things. But you should not get distracted. That's what Prabhupada is saying. You should have complete confidence that I am on the right path, the highest path, the ultimate path, the most perfect path, and I will get the highest results. And you should not get distracted even by people who perform severe austerities in the name of yoga, etc. See, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, there is one nice pastime when Mahaprabhu, in the first 24 years, just before he takes sannyas, he acted as a scholar for most of the time. And then once he went to Gaya to perform Shraddha for his father. Actually, see, I don't want to get distracted to speak about so many things. I want to be focused, but still, I want you to know one thing, that Prabhupada, Mahaprabhu going to perform Shraddha of his father does not mean that performing Shraddha is something mandatory for all devotees. A devotee has taken a special path where automatically his forefathers will be delivered. This subject matter has to be discussed in greater length so that misunderstandings will not happen. But anyway, Mahaprabhu going to Gaya to perform Shraddha ceremony for his father is not a justification for a devotee to say that all devotees should also perform Shraddha for their forefathers. Because a devotee's forefathers are automatically delivered. You perform your devotion to the Lord and you are not expected to be distracted to perform other duties. There are supposed to be 5 different kinds of debts that we incur. But all these debts are there for someone who is following Varnashrama Dharma, who is not a devotee, who is following the Varnashrama Dharma which is given in the scriptures, and by that he is trying to purify his consciousness. From Tamogun to Rajogun to Sattvagun, he is trying to progress. For such a person, Varnashrama Dharma is prescribed, and as part of Varnashrama Dharma, all these debts are there, where one has to perform his rites for the ancestors. Deva Rishi Bhuta Apta Nrinam Pitrunam. There are so many debts we all incur when we are born. Deva, to the demigods, we have our obligations. Rishi, the rishis who have given us all these scriptures, we have our debt. Bhuta Apta Nrinam. Other living entities, other human beings, and our relatives, and to the departed ancestors. We have debts, but all these debts are completely discharged when somebody takes to the path of devotion, which means once you come to devotion, you are supposed to engage in devotion fully. Not that I will take some time off to discharge my debts to the demigods and discharge my debt to the rishis, discharge my debt to the pitrus. Then the question may arise, then what will happen to my pitrus? The answer is, anyone who has taken to the path of devotion, his ancestors are delivered. Not that when I perform a Shraddha, what it means, the food or pinda I offer during Shraddha, that will be the food for my departed ancestor for the next 1 year. Then again the Shraddha will come on the appropriate tithi for the following year. So we are only feeding them in the spiritual world. But then when you actually offer them Krishna Prasadam, daily you are eating Krishna Prasadam. Daily you are cooking and offering to Krishna and then eating Prasadam. In that process, not only are you delivered, all your ancestors are also delivered. So if you still have to perform Shraddha, you must perform it as an offering to Krishna. And the Prasadam from Krishna, you can offer it to your ancestors if you want. Not that it is strictly necessary. automatically a devotee's ancestors are delivered. A devotee should only try to strengthen his devotional service without being distracted to so many other things. But anyway, so Mahaprabhu went for performing the Shraddha. There he became a devotee by meeting his spiritual master. All these are pastimes of the Lord. He met his spiritual master, Ishwar Puri, right there in Gaya, at the Vishnu Padam, at the Gaya temple. Then he became totally soaked in Krishna consciousness. And when he returned, he displayed all the symptoms of a pure devotee when he returned. So the point is that we should focus on our devotion as above everything else. So Mahaprabhu started doing what is called Prema Sankirtan in the house of Srivas Thakur. Every night, all night, the devotees will not sleep. The pure devotees will assemble in the house of Srivas Thakur, and all night there will be kirtan and dancing. Outsiders would try to enter. No, doors were locked for them. Nobody could enter. This is pure Prema Sankirtan. Only pure devotees are allowed. So at that time, one brahmachari approached Srivas Thakur and said, I want to see the Lord dance. Please allow me. I will hide and see. Srivas Thakur tried to reject, but devotees are always compassionate. So this devotee was telling this brahmachari, see, I have no vices. I drink only milk, cow's milk every day, and rest of the day I am fasting. So I am observing such severe austerities. I am a strict brahmachari. Please allow me. Then Srivas Thakur, heart melted. He said, okay, you come. And he hid him in a corner. And that night, Mahaprabhu started performing his, as usual, transcendental dance. Prema Sankirtan was going on and everybody was dancing. And suddenly Mahaprabhu stopped. And he said, why I am not getting my ecstasy, which I get every day? Why my devotional ecstasy is not coming? Is there someone here who should not be here? Everybody was looking at each other because nobody wants to say Srivas Thakur has brought a brahmachari here. Everybody waited. Mahaprabhu repeated a second time. Then Srivas Thakur, in great fear, he said, no, Mahaprabhu, there is nobody here who should not be here. Then he said, only one brahmachari who is so strict and austere. He drinks only cow's milk, observing strict brahmacharya. Only he is here. Immediately Mahaprabhu's eyes became red and he thundered at the top of his voice, get that brahmachari out of here. He has no business to be here. And get him out. So Srivas Thakur asked him to come out, and trembling, the brahmachari was walking out of the house. Mahaprabhu said, Srivas, do you think simply by observing some austerity, you can get Krishna Prema? Simply by drinking some milk, some brahmachari, he will get Krishna Prema? Like that, Mahaprabhu said, this Krishna Prema doesn't have these qualities. It is simply performing devotional service to the Lord. Loving devotional service is the only way to get Krishna Prema. Like that. And this brahmachari, even as he was walking out, he was thinking in his mind, oh, I was so fortunate. Really, I have no qualification to see Mahaprabhu dance. But at least this much, Mahaprabhu allowed me to see his dance. I am so fortunate and I am grateful. Like that, he was thinking and going out. Then Mahaprabhu said, bring him back. That same brahmachari who was being kicked out 1 minute ago, he was asked to come back. And Mahaprabhu said, this is the right. Now you are qualified. Now you can stay and you can participate in our Prem Sankirtan. From that day, the brahmachari became a regular addition in the nightly Sankirtan program in Srivas Thakur's house. So not that simply observing some austerity, I will get Krishna Prema, but I should have the mood of humility, gratitude, and love of God. That is the only way to get the mercy of the Lord. So here also, it is said, Bhagavatam says, a devotee must be fully convinced that those who are doing severe austerities are not purified in their minds, but a devotee is purified. A devotee of the Lord is purified. Not that by performing some advanced austerities, they become purified. No, because they don't have the knowledge of transcendental loving service of the Lord. They are not purified. So what is the purifying factor? Information of the transcendental loving service of the Lord. So that is what is meant. Yes, Mataji, please continue.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, may I read?
Yes, yes, Mataji, please.
Thank you. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Hare Krishna dear devotees, Dhanvatana. Srila Prabhupada ji. There are certainly many good qualities among fruitive actors, philosophical speculator and mystic yogis, but all good qualities automatically develop in the characters of a devotee. No extraneous endeavor is needed. As confirmed by Srimad Bhagavatam 5.18.12, all the good qualities of the demigods manifest progressively in one who is developed for devotional service. Because a devotee is not interested in any material activity, he does not become materially contaminated. He is immediately situated on the platform of transcendental life. However, one who engages in a mundane activity be he a so-called gnani, yogi, karmi, philanthropist, nationalist, or whatever, cannot attain the higher stage of Mahatma. He remains a Duratma or cripple-minded person. According to Bhagavad Gita 9.13, Mahatmana sato mama pratha daivima prakritim ashritaha bhajayante ananya manaso gnatva bhutadima avavyayam. O son of Pritha, those who are not deluded, the great souls are under the protection of the divine nature. They are fully engaged in a devotional service because they know me as a supreme personality of Godhead, original and inexhaustible. Since all the devotees of the Lord are under the protection of His supreme potency, they should not deviate from the path of devotional service and take to the path of the karmi, gnani, or yogi. This is called uttasahan. Utsasahan nishyada dhairyayo tatat karma pravartantan. Enthusiastically executing the regulative activities of the devotional service with patience and confidence. In this way, one can advance in the devotional service without hindrance.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Sorry for my reading. My
Not
apology
at
for
all, Mataji. Thank you. Thank you very much for joining. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So, see, this is how Prabhupada is concluding. Again and again, the same point is being mentioned. We should avoid the association of karmi, jnani, and yogi. We should not be even too much attracted towards austerity, meaningless austerity. The austerity prescribed for us is Ekadashi. We observe fasting on Ekadashi. On the glorious appearance day of the Lord and his various avatars, or the appearance and disappearance days of various acharyas, we observe fasting. These are the only prescribed austerities for the pleasure of our acharyas and the Lord. But we don't mindlessly observe some austerity. That is not required for a devotee. Rather, too much austerity makes your heart very hard also. For devotion, we need a soft heart. Karma, jnana, yoga, all these things make your hard heart. Same with austerities also. Whereas a devotee needs a soft heart. Bhagavatam says, too much attachment and too much detachment, both are disqualifications for a devotee. Too much detachment. What is too much detachment? What is wrong with it? Does anybody want to guess?
Like Mayavadis does, Prabhuji. They say.
Go on, Mataji, please explain.
Like Mayavadis say that they think Jagat Brahma Satya Jagat Mithya, and they go on rejecting everything. So that is not to be done, because Bhakta will use everything in the service of Lord. So that is Yukta Vairagya.
Exactly. So the point is, whatever we see around us as material, they are not material. It is only our vision which is material. Nirbandhe Krishna Sambandhe. So see, the Falgu Vairagis, the Mayavadis, they don't see everything in connection with Krishna. They see everything as matter, 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 and they want to avoid, so that they will become liberated one day by being totally detached from matter. Everything is matter, everything is matter. And I don't want to be touched by matter. Matter is contaminated. But actually, no, for a devotee, it's not like that at all. Devotee sees everything in connection with Krishna. And for him, matter is not so fearful. He thinks matter as the energy of the Lord. We saw in Ishopanishad. It's the energy of the Lord. And what is my business as a devotee? To unite the energy of the Lord with the Lord. When Sita Mata is taken away from Ravana, he is trying to separate the energy from the Lord. But when Hanumanji reunites Sita Mata with Ram, he is actually returning the energy, Lord's energy, Aishwarya, back to the Lord. That is the mood of a devotee. So there is this kind of mindless austerity has no meaning for a devotee. Devotee's interest is only to cultivate a soft heart by doing devotional service. So that's why too much detachment leads you to Mayavad. It leads you to impersonalism. We do Yukta Vairagya. Yukta Vairagya means use everything in the service of the Lord. Yukta means using, uniting. We unite the energy with the Lord. So that is the path we have to practice. So we have completed 3 shlokas today. Would anybody like to say something, ask some doubts, clarifications? These 3 shlokas now make sense to you, or is there anything that is missing? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. In second shloka and third shloka, in once it is said that Jana Sangascha, and in third shloka Sangatyaga. So that is bit confusing.
Yeah, very right. Yeah, so we should understand by the context and by the explanations given by the acharyas. Yeah. So when we say Janasangasya Laulyam cha, that Janasanga is a negative thing. We should not associate with worldly people. Like here also we are told Karmi, Jnani, Ashtanga Yogi, all these people you avoid. So that is the Janasanga we are being talked about. Yeah, that Janasanga we should avoid. And here we are talking about Sangat, what we are told here?
Sangatyagat.
Sangatyagat. Okay. Janasangasya Laulyam cha. Here the Sangatyaga is materialistic. Okay. There, Janasangasya Laulyam cha, Shadbir Bhaktir Vinashyati. So that kind of materialistic association destroys. And here, Utsaha, Nishchaya, Dhairya, Tatat Karma Pravartanat, Sangatyagat. Hai na?
That's what I'm asking, Prabhuji. Both convey the same meaning only, na Prabhuji?
You mean to say repetition?
Yes, because there also they are saying to avoid non-devotee association, and here also they are asking to avoid non-devotee. In one way, they are saying prasidhyati in vinashyati. So same word, same meaning.
I never had this doubt before. Let me read it again. Janasangascha. No, in the previous sloka it was Janasangascha. That is association with worldly people. That destroys bhakti, right? Janasangascha laulyamcha shadbir bhaktir vinashyati. Taking the association of worldly people destroys bhakti. And in third shloka, avoiding the association, sangatyaga, that enhances your bhakti. Is it okay? Janasanga, association of materialistic worldly people, it will destroy your faith, your devotion. But this one, sangatyaga, means avoiding such association. So previous one is taking that association. Here it is avoiding the association. So that means it is doubly emphasized. It is doubly emphasized, both in second shloka and third shloka. Second shloka, if you take worldly association, your devotion is gone. Not that you can say 20 hours I will take devotee association, 4 hours I will take non-devotee association. That will destroy your faith, bhakti. 20 hours of devotional association can be destroyed by 4 hours of non-devotee association. So it's a caution in the second shloka that you should avoid association of worldly minded people. So same thing comes here in third shloka. Okay, That kind of Sangha Tyaga actually makes your bhakti to flourish. You take that association, it destroys your bhakti. But that association, if you give up, it will nourish your bhakti. Is it okay, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah?
Yes.
The same Sangha which will destroy your devotion, if it is given up, it will nourish your devotion.
Okay.
Okay. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. And Prabhuji, see, we are in Grihastha ashrama and we need to associate with so many materialistic people every now and then. And we will be having so many functions, festivals, and so many occasions like, we need to interact with them. But to what extent we have to interact and where exactly we have to stop, Prabhuji, taking association?
Exactly. The answer is there in your question itself. Taking association means getting emotionally involved. Doing the necessary activity means no involvement. Just doing the needful. Just making a few smiles, showing some handshakes and taking what is minimum required. Where it is unavoidable, only that much should be done. Then you are not taking association. Association means opening your heart to them and allowing them to open their heart to you. That kind of intimate relation, you will see now in the 4th shloka.
Okay.
Rupa Goswami will tell us how to associate with devotees. That kind of association we should not do with non-devotees. Dadati, Pradigrishnati, Guhyamakyadi, Prichati, Bhukte, Bhojete, Cheva. Shadvidam, Shadvidam, Priti Lakshan. How to exchange? That kind of exchanges you should not do. The moment you are with a worldly person, you are on alert. It is like being with fire. It can burn you. In that consciousness only we should take the association. So it's not called taking association or giving association. You can give your association. Sometimes people say like that. A devotee can give their association to non-devotees as much as they are capable of doing, but they should never take their association. You understand? Giving association and taking association. By being with you, they should become attracted towards Krishna. Not that by being with them, you become attracted towards Maya.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Giving association can happen, but taking association should not happen. But unless we are very strong people, when we want to give association, we will end up taking association. So we
Yes,
should be
Prabhuji.
extremely careful. We should do only what is needful, that each and everyone will know where the line is drawn. Where the line is drawn. You don't sit with them and discuss the movie. You don't discuss the cricket match and such worldly things. You don't engage with them. Rather, quietly you try to turn them towards Krishna consciousness, so that a time will come, they will not come near you. Something in them will pull them away from you. They will become,
Yes,
this is what you will speak. They will avoid you. That is good for us, no? Because the less you have material association, you can increase your devotee association. After all, we have only 24 hours in a day. So why should I waste my time in this kind of materialistic association? Yes, you are right. It is unavoidable. But then don't associate the word association in such cases. You are not taking their association. You are doing the needful in a social situation. What is needful among relatives and friends? That you will do the needful. But you will always be focusing on how can I give them a little Krishna consciousness. In that mood, automatically the non-devotees will be pulled away from you. And you will be left with only devotees around you, which is a good thing for us. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Thank you very much. We'll meet again next week. Please continue your devotional service with all enthusiasm, determination, and patience. And may the Lord bless you with success. Hare Krishna. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavibhyo namo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Srila